All right, all right. It's 412 plus or minus, and I'd have to say that the market had a relatively good day. So let's take a nice easy look at the S&P. Here's the daily. We're bouncing. We actually broke through that 20-day moving average and closed up at Wednesday's open, which is really not a bad retracement. Uh, so we'll just let it keep on going. The momentum turned around. I'm encouraged. Looking at the 60, it looks like the momentum's fading off a little bit. But we don't know what catalyst we'll have over the weekend. So we'll see what Monday has to offer. It did turn bullish, the 60-minute. Just needed a swig of water. That is a very bullish looking MACD. So, barring any unusual news Monday, I think we might continue this march up. Let's just take a quick look at the weeklies, because this is the end of the week. Oh, we could argue that that's a hammer. Would have been nice if it was a green hammer, but it's a hammer nonetheless. Coming off of the, I believe that's the 8-day moving average. So that would be the 8 period, which would be a weekly period. So, but nonetheless, this is a good support, making a nice hammer. But we are trending down. If next week we leave this one red indicator and we turn green again, that's a very positive indication. So we could look for next week to be an up week, or the following weeks to be an up week if that continues. I'm sure all the other markets look the same. Here's the composite. Yep, look at that, identical on the daily. We didn't even start a downtrend, but I have a sneaky suspicion that we're not going to get as high on this next run up and turn around. I kind of feel like we're going to roll around and start that downtrend. Here's the Dow. The Dow doesn't look as aggressive as the other two. The momentum looks like it's fading off. I think that's what's going to transpire. I think we're going to make a lower high next week and then turn around and trade off. This is the 5-year interest rate, which looks like it's putting in a trend reversal. Here's the low right here, and then break that high, which would support the markets moving down. Take a look at the financial index. Financial still looks like it's on an uptrend, if you're asking me. And if you're tuning into my channel, you're asking me. I don't see any entries on these things as far as swings, but here's the 10-year Treasury doing the same thing. It's really got to move up a little bit to create a pivot here. So I'm going to call this neutral and consolidating. I'm sure the 30 looks the same, and it does. Neutral and consolidating on the dailies. The VIX. Some of my free folk have expressed an interest in the VIX. So let's take a look. Looks like the fear factor is coming off. On the 60s, we're looking kind of bearish. And on the dailies, oh, look at that. That's a very aggressive bear bar. Looks like we test this high right here, this pivot high, and got rejected aggressively. So I think you can expect the well, it'll probably come down and test these lows again, but we're obviously in a channel. And if you're looking for an entry, I'd probably get a nice trend line right down here and just look. Actually, probably, no, I don't think I call it a pivot. But I would look for a break of this trend line if you are looking for an entry to the downside. As far as a swing trade on the daily, let's have a quick peek at the weekly. Yeah, it looks like it's just trending down on the week. I mean, you can just see it's making lower highs, kind of squeezing its way down. Once it breaks that trend line, I think you should get a decent move down. Might even test this moving average right here. I look for that 971. If you're interested in a short on the VIX, there's energy, the energy sector. No, it failed. All right, we'll leave it alone. So looking at Apple on the daily, just consolidating. Probably carrying the weight of all the retail right now because everybody's afraid that we're peaking out. I'm not really feeling that, to tell you the truth. I think we got a little bit more run-ins. I do see a little bit of a correction, but I don't see it. I just think it's technical in the market. I don't think the economy's faltering. Looks like the weekly's going into consolidation on Apple. Nothing there to get me excited. Amazon, for my freaks. This just looks negative, man. And you know what? This is just caught up in the retail hype also. The fear of us peaking out. So I wouldn't be too frightened of it. I just don't see any setups to get involved on the dailies. I'll just wait for it to show me something. If you watch my training videos, you know what a trend reversal looks like. And I would just look for a trend reversal. If you want to watch my trading videos, they're on the YouTube channel. Under trading, trading 101. ARC Innovations. This is Kathy's hedge fund. That's pretty heavy tech. A lot of people cheering for it to go down. I don't see anything really. I mean, you could remain bearish as long as it stays below that blue trend line right there. But I don't see anything too motivating. This looks like it's putting in nice support right here. So I'd look for it to come up, maybe make a higher, lower high, and then carry on. But you could argue that this is a pennant. And look for a break of the pennant in either direction. Kathy Long, is that her name? Disney. I like Disney. Disney is an investment. It's not a trade. And Disney has theme parks for those who want to go out, has cruise ships to accommodate the opening of the economy once we get over this Delta issue. It has retail stores for those that are sitting home, and streaming for those that are sitting home. So this equity covers the gamut on the epidemic or pandemic trade. Pays a wee bit of a dividend, but good company, good long-term investment. On the dailies, I see no entry really. If it breaks these lows, this trend, you can go short, but I like to stop long-term. That would be a short-term trade. But I like the security long-term, and that's what I'm looking at. There's nothing really to induce me to invest it other than the fundamentals, but that's on a technical basis. Fundamentally, I like it. You could look for a pullback. Don't really expect it, but anything's possible. Just looks like it's going into consolidation on the weakness. No. NVIDIA, nobody's really looking at it. I like XOM also, pays 6.4% dividend. And I mean, that's pretty nice to get paid. I'm in the middle of a storm right now, so internet's going back and forth. Like on a sailboat, folks. So that's why the load is loading up slowly. See that little gap? You could argue that that's capitulation right there. And that should be the end of the downside. But it doesn't really matter where you pick it up. You buy it for the dividend. You could look for it between 50 and 70 over the course of the year. That's like basically the trading range. But this is the kind of thing you buy and you sell when you retire. Big bad oil company. And then last but not least, to keep the clicks coming, it's AMC. I got news for you. A lot more big boys are getting on board with the short based on fundamentals. So not really a good idea. But you could stay bullish as long as it stays above this trend line. I wouldn't take an entry unless I saw it break this high right here, and then I would probably ride it up. Too much going against it to take that aggressive entry. Yeah, this is a nice little hammer, and an aggressive entry would be breaking that hammer, but too much going against it for me to take an aggressive entry. So I would wait for a confirmation that it's going to break higher. But I don't think it's going to do much. I mean, I don't think it's going to run. I think the idea is done. And if I were trading this and holding out for the short squeeze, I'd probably be closing my position right about here. But that's my story. And let's take a look at the since it is the end of the yeah, that's rather negative. Look how top heavy that looks 2 weeks in a row. Just looks like the right pattern. It's probably going to close that weekly gap right there at the 2673. I think you got a good shot at coming down to this 1456 in the next few weeks. At least one more catalyst like we had this week, and that they should tip. But hey, I'm only one man. So anyway, that's it. That's my wrap up. It's Friday. I'm gonna go party up and celebrate being alive. So just remember to be careful and control your risk, and good luck trading.